Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is going to be an easy makeup look as well as 2-day hair, and I want to say thank you so much to Clinique for sponsoring today's video. I always try to start out with the lip balm just because my lips can be really dry and chapped in the morning, so I like to start out with that. I will make sure to put links down below for everything that I am using, and I'm actually out of my toner, so I am going to be skipping that step and going straight to my essence water. I've been using an essence water for well over a year and I really love this step. You put it on after your toner and before all your treatments. You just put it all over the face, down the neck, and on the décolleté. Next, I'm going to go into my serums, and I like to mix 2, sometimes 3. Today I am doing 2, my Advanced Night Repair as well as my Essential Beauty Serum. These 2 have been basically staples in my skincare regimen. And same, you're going to press this into the skin after you warm it up into your hands, all over the face, on the neck, and down on the décolleté as well. So today I'm going to be adding an extra moisturizing step. My skin has been really dehydrated lately. You guys know I've been sick, and so my skin is still recuperating. So I'm going to just add a little bit more of an intense moisturizer underneath my normal SPF and just put this in the areas that I tend to get a little bit drier and just really press this into the skin. But yeah, this is definitely an extra step for me. I do not do this every day. It's just because my skin's a little dehydrated. Next step is going to be an eye cream. I do really like this one because it has retinol in it, but I will say, just like my skin, my under eye area has been extra dry lately. I already have a really dry under eye area, but because I've been sick, it's been even more dehydrated. But either way, make sure to add an eye cream, definitely. And I do like this one if you're looking for something with retinol. And my last skincare step is my SPF moisturizer. This has been a favorite for quite a while. I love it. Just make sure to press this into the skin, all over the face, down the neck, and on the décolleté as well. Before we get started on foundation, I do want to add a primer, and this is one of my favorites. I love this one. This one is really wet feeling and looking, so you just put this all over the skin and you'll see that it actually soaks right up, and then it just leaves the perfect canvas for a foundation. For foundation, I'm going to be going with the Clinique Beyond Perfecting 2-in-1 Foundation and Concealer. I actually have 2 shades. I have 6.7 and 8, and I'm going to be going with 8 because I'm a little bit more tan than normal. So I've been using this foundation for about a week now and I am loving it. I actually really like the doe foot applicator. It's basically a giant concealer wand. I love how easy it is to get the product on the skin. I'm gonna buff it in with my beauty blender. It's just the way that I prefer to do my foundation. You can see I have a little bit of hyperpigmentation on my cheek, and it is covering it really nicely with very little product. It is full coverage, oil free. It gives a natural matte finish, and it also has 24-hour staying powder. If you are in the market for a foundation and you're wanting something that gives full coverage or even like medium coverage, depending on how light you want to put it on the skin, make sure to stop by your local Clinique counter. You can get a free 10-day sample, and guys, this foundation is only $29. I love it. I do want to show you guys that this foundation is buildable, so I'm going to add a little bit more on the cheek area. I do tend to like a little bit more coverage in the cheek area anyway. You guys can see I have that hyperpigmentation spot, so I usually like to cover that up a little bit more. And then I'm going to go ahead and use the same foundation concealer as a concealer. And you can see very little. A little goes a long way, and I'm just going to kind of buff that in also with my beauty blender. Once I'm finished with my foundation and concealer, I'm going to dust on just a little bit of translucent powder just before I move on to the rest of my makeup. And my favorite makeup step is contour, and sometimes I do this little cheater method where I use a denser contour brush and I'll stamp it in the areas, and then I'll go back in with a fluffier contour brush and buff it out. But just basically place the contour powder, wherever it is that you need a little contour, and then go back in with a fluffy brush and buff it out in those areas. You can see you can buff it out really, really easy, and it's just really easy. It's kind of like my little cheater method. It works for me, especially whenever I'm trying to be really quick with contour. Next, I want to add a little bit of contour down each side of the nose. This is just one of those steps that I feel like a lot of times we forget to do, but it really does make a really big impact. Now I want to go in with some bronzer, and I just feel like this adds a little bit of depth. So first you added the coolness with the contour, and now you're going to go in and add some warmth with the bronzer. I just love this. I put this above the contour on the cheeks, over the top of the contour on the forehead, on the jawline. It just really warms up the face. I'm still obsessed with this Illuminator. I use it as a highlighter, and I just do all three colors. I put it down the bridge of the nose, around the eye, and on the cheekbones. I really just love the way this gives a very nice natural highlight. Last, I want to go in with my favorite blush, and I really concentrate on the apples of the cheeks and push it back, and it really just helps everything to blend together. And I noticed that my blush and contour bronzer just looked a little bit heavy, so I'm just going back in with my powder brush. I didn't add any powder to it, and I'm just blending it out to make it a little bit softer. Next, I'm going to add just a little bit of eyeshadow primer here. It's just what I've always used. It's an oldie but a goodie. I've been using this one forever. I'm going to get my eyeshadow brush wet, and I'm going to apply this like shimmery goldish brown shade. This is one of my favorites. It's actually from Makeup Geek. I'll put all the colors down below. I love this color. I've been wearing it a lot lately, and you guys have been asking me on like Instagram stories and stuff, and I just put this all over the lid. Nothing fancy. I just get it on the lid, and I just do both sides. I'm gonna go in with a matte color for the crease, and I am just going to use windshield wiper motions and blend this out to give my crease a little bit of depth and warmth, but with a matte color. Since I used a shimmer color on the lid, I like to do a matte color in the crease. Last color that I'm going to use, I'm going to add this creamy vanilla color. I believe it's called Rice Paper. I love it. This is actually one that I fell back in love with. I used to be obsessed with this color, and I recently ordered it, and I love it. It's perfect for underneath the brow bone. It really just gives the perfect amount of light and brightness and lift to that area. And then I'm just gonna go in with that shimmer shade and put that on the lower lash line about 2/3 of the way in. I love this color. It's definitely been a favorite, and I just think it would be perfect on every skin tone or eye color. On the inner third, I will put the matte crease color that I used just to kind of add a little color there as well. And last, I'm going to use a highlighter on the inner tear duct area. This is one of my favorite things to do for the eyes. Even if I am not wearing any makeup or I'm going for a very, very minimal look, I always add a little something in this area. And then of course, in the Cupid's bow, I started doing this recently as well, and I just love the way that it looks, especially on my particular lip shape. I just think it looks really nice. Since I wear extensions, I don't wear any mascara, or at least most of the time I don't wear a mascara, so I'm just gonna comb through my lashes and make sure to get anything out that is there, and just make sure that they're all separated and even. So I'll comb through my lashes, and then I will use the same spoolie to just clean up my brows as well. My brows are microbladed, so I also don't fill those in unless I want a really, really dramatic look. I'm just gonna remove any extra lip balm and go in with this Pillow Talk lip liner. It's a perfect match for my lips, so I just like adding this little layer because I feel like it really grips your lipstick a little bit better to allow it to last a little longer throughout the day. So I'll just line the lips and fill it in. You can see it really is a nice match to my lip color. I have been loving this nude lipstick lately. I believe it's called Barely Nude or Barely There. I'll link it down below. I love it. The shade is beautiful as is, but I will be adding a lip gloss, but I just think it's such a beautiful nude. It's not too light, but it's not too dark. I love it. And then I'm gonna add a little bit of lip gloss just to finish it because I just prefer a glossy lip. That's just my preference, but I love this combo so much. Now that the look is complete, I am going to finish off with a little bit of this lavender spray. This has definitely been a go-to lately. There are several that I use, but this has just been one I've been using recently and loving it. So I do like to finish it off. It takes away any like powderness that you may have and just finishes off the look and allows all the makeup to blend together. So we are on day 2 for hair. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just comb through it with a wide tooth comb. This is basically what I use primarily as a wide tooth comb. There is a paddle brush that I use sometimes, but my go-to is this wide tooth comb. And then I'm going to go in and add some dry shampoo. There are a few different dry shampoos that I use, but I think this one is my favorite, or I don't know. I really do reach for this one quite often. It's really, really easy. You basically shake it up and then poof it onto your skin. You'll see the powder kind of spray out whenever you pump it, and you can use quite a bit of this. The longer you let it sit, the better it soaks in the oil as well. I do tend to have a little bit more of an oily scalp, so I'm gonna just get this all over and then rub it in. And one of the things that I like to do, and I notice that for me at least works better, is if I hit it with the blow dryer. And I do feel like the blow dryer kind of activates it. It gets rid of any whiteness, that white powder look. It gets rid of that powderness, but it also gives a lot of volume. So if you're looking to add some volume, let the powder, let the dry shampoo sit a little longer than I am here, and then blow dry it after. And it really does help with like freshening up your hair. Next, I'm gonna add a little bit of serum to my hair, and I primarily focus on the ends, and then I will work my way up to about 2/3 of the hair. I try to stay away from the roots just because I already have a little bit of natural oils there from it being second day hair. So I try to concentrate this on the bottom half, bottom 2/3 of the hair. And even though I have naturally straight hair, I do like to hit my hair with a straightener just because it gives that sleek look. And I do concentrate a little bit more on the top layer, and then I will just run it through all of the bottom layers just to give it a sleek look. I don't spend a lot of time on this. I've talked about this before. This is not necessarily for straightness. It's more for smoothness and just to make it look really smooth and sleek. That's really why I do this, because my hair is already straight. And then I'm gonna finish it off with this oil spray. I love this. This is my favorite like finisher right now. So I'll just put this on. Also concentrating on the bottom 2/3, the same area that I concentrated the serum on. And I will just run this through my hair. But a light thin layer is perfect, but I love the way this feels. It's currently my favorite go-to like finishing spray. So that is it, guys. I will make sure to link everything down below for you guys. Everything will be in the order that I've shown it. Thank you so much again to Clinique for sponsoring today's video, and I will see you guys in my next video. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.